A little different than, typical Al Haymon fights, because this fight actually has some intrigue about it. And we're talking about Shawn Porter, 24-1-1 with 15 KOs, former 147-pound IBF champion, who's going to be taking on Roberto Garcia, Mexican fighter, 36-3 with 23 KOs on the undercard of Andre Berto versus Jose Zito Lopez, which is going to be on Spike TV March 13, 2015. I am T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live. I cover everything boxing. So, Shawn Porter coming off his defeat to Kell Brook, in which he did not get a rematch, and I guess does not want the rematch as of right now. Kell Brook is going to be taking on another Al Haymon fighter by the name of Jojo Dan, March 28th, 2015, over in the UK. Shawn Porter has decided to take somewhat of a tune-up comeback fight, but yet it's going to be an exciting fight. Now, Roberto Garcia is not known to have fought big names outside of, well, he fought Antonio Margarito back in 2010, where he was down and pretty much literally got beat up, but didn't get knocked out. He fought Breeders Prescott. You know him from fighting Amir Khan. He fought him in his last fight back in July on ESPN, Friday Night Fights. I watched that. And what he is he's a slugger, brawler, pressure fighter. So when you put him against, the mini Mike Tyson-ish Shawn Porter, and Roberto Garcia, a guy that's never been knocked out, what do you see? A lot of inside fighting and basically someone most likely getting broke down and will broken because of the barrage of punches that each of them will be taking. Now, Shawn Porter is supposed to win, but at the same time, will Shawn Porter win? Looking at his fight against Kell Brook, looking at his fight against Devin Alexander, and looking at the fights against Julio Diaz, I noticed something about Shawn Porter is that if you can hang with him on the inside, you have a good chance to beat him. Paulie Malignaggi couldn't hang with him on the inside. So Roberto Garcia, being himself a bigger type fighter, he walks around outside the ring very big, bigger than the 147 he's fighting at. Also, him and Shawn Porter have in common that they're pretty compact, as far as they're both fighters who fought at one point in time at 160 or above. So really fighting at 147 is supposed to be a natural weight for them, but yet they bring all that power down there with them. So I guess what I'm saying is the fight's going to be an exciting fight. And then it's the perfect complement to, another fight, another fight on the card that's the main event, Andre Berto versus another lower level Al Haymon guy, or a lower tier Al Haymon guy in Jose Zito Lopez. Now, what I mean is lower tier. I'm not disrespecting these guys. I'm just saying that you got the guys like the John Molina, the Jose Zito Lopez's, the Roberto Garcias. Who else? Who's another perfect example? I'm trying to figure out guys that just Al Haymon uses basically for his other guys to look good against. You get me? To a certain extent. So you the Luis Collazo. So you can start basically seeing that how Al Haymon matches his fighters. So yet he's matching tough, but for this to be the first initial card for Spike TV, you got the main event with Andre Berto versus Victor Ortiz. Somebody's going to get beat up. Both of them are former Victor Ortiz opponents. One of them beat Victor Ortiz, the other one didn't. So therefore, there's a storyline behind that fight. And then you got Shawn Porter, former IBF 147-pound champion of the world, who lost his title in a very high-profile fight, going up against a brawler. So the card is exciting, and basically, it's a ratings puller. Simple as that. And, I can see the business and logic behind it. Outside of that, what does Roberto Garcia versus Shawn Porter mean? We don't know. But if you don't know, did I talk about it already? Oh, yeah, allegedly, in or outside of the cage or not, Chris Algieri was offered a certain amount of money to fight Shawn Porter, but turned it down. Now, knocked down 6 times in your last fight and then losing, I don't know how much money you're asking for, but you were going to be on, maybe he just only wants to fight on HBO network television. Then allegedly we're hearing stuff that he's turning down, he turned down some money against Terrence Crawford, and then that fight has been scrapped. So, we get Roberto Garcia. Could there have been a better fight? You got to think the guy's coming back. So if he would have fought Chris Algieri, he would have been fighting a boxer, somewhat as far as punching power, similar to Devin Alexander. Devin Alexander, in my opinion, hits harder than Chris Algieri. But, and I'm not just going by just the knockout. One has like 14, if I'm correct, and the other one has 9. I'm not just going by that. I'm going by the fact that, that would have been a tailor-made fight for Shawn Porter to pick Chris Algieri apart. He would have just smothered him. And like I said, you can't fight on the inside with Shawn Porter, then there's a good chance he will beat you up. So putting him against Roberto Garcia, in my opinion, is a much more fan-friendly and much more exciting fight. It just, that's just looking at Roberto Garcia fight. So like I said, his most recent fight is against Breidis Prescott. You know him because he beat Amir Khan. And Amir Khan still got Breidis Prescott problems despite that, but whatever the case may be. I'm not going to sit here and just be rambling on and everything. I feel as though I got my point across in this video. T-Street Controversy, T-Street Controversy Live, RealCombatMedia.com. I cover every single major fight live. I talk a little fast, but you got to keep up with me. I try to compact so much information into one short, synchronized video. T-Street Controversy Live.